Hello, everybody. Welcome to Yoga Core, 45 minutes. My name is Devonna, and it's really good to see all of your faces. Um, the first few minutes of class, we are going to connect with our breath and grounding. So you can stay lying on your back if that's comfortable for you. Otherwise, we'll sit in a seat. So seat or lying down. So just get yourself in a nice, comfortable position. Close your eyes if that's comfortable for you. And we are going to focus inward, tune into our breath. And we're going to start breathing through our nose, taking inhales through the nose, letting your chest and your belly fill and rise. And then exhaling out of your mouth, allowing your chest and your belly to fall. And with each inhale, try to take a little bit more time filling up your lungs, maybe holding at the top, and then exhaling out of your mouth, releasing. If you're lying on your back, you can extend your feet and begin in a corpse pose, Shavasana. Allow your hands to be open and your feet to naturally fall the way they want to fall. Take up as much space on your mat and allow yourself to melt into the ground while continuing to breathe, finding our pranayama, which is our life force, our breath, which will help us in transitions and any poses that might come up as difficult for you. Just know that you can always connect back to your breath. So deep inhales through your nose, filling up your lungs, every little sip of air, and then exhaling out of your mouth, allowing your body to melt into the earth. Just find the natural rhythm of your breath while you're in your Shavasana or if you're in your seat. Continuing to let your pranayama circle through your body, maybe holding at the top and then releasing out of your mouth. Pay attention to what you're feeling physically in your body. Notice where you're holding any tension. Maybe unclench your jaw, let the muscles in your face relax. The next 45 minutes is your practice. There might be some poses that you're not interested in today. You can always skip and find yourself in child's pose. Just continue breathing here, grounding. The pranayama is very important, leading us through our practice. Take a couple more breaths here. Inhaling to fill up your lungs. Exhaling to release. And then grab a hold of your left wrist with your right hand. And then cross your left ankle over your right. And then point your fingers and your hands towards the right of your mat, making a banana shape. And breathe into this, opening up the left side of your body. Inhaling to lengthen. And exhaling to release into the stretch and stay here for a couple breaths. With each inhale, lengthening a little bit more. And exhaling to release. Inhaling back to center. And then grabbing hold of your right wrist with your left hand and crossing your right foot over your left ankle and making a banana shape on the right side of your body. Stay here and breathe. 3 breaths. Nice, long, luxurious breaths, breathing into the right side of your body. Staying centered, staying grounded and relaxed. Take one more breath on this side. And exhale back to center. Taking up as much space on your mat, maybe making a star shape. Maybe rolling your wrists around, waking up your limbs, transitioning out of our corpse pose. And rolling over to the right side of your body. Pushing yourself up into a seat. Turning around to face me if you ended up the other side. Crossing our legs. And then going into a tabletop position. So your wrists are under your shoulders and your ankles are under your hips. And inhaling, dropping your belly and your gaze lifts, chest lifts for a cow pose. Exhaling into a cat, hunching your navel to your spine, hunching all the way. Inhaling to drop your chest, your belly, your gaze is up, your heart is open. And exhaling into a cat, like a black cat on Halloween. And then take some organic movements while you travel through your cow pose, looking up. And then exhaling to cat. So you can start moving your hips around. This is a beautiful place to find your own natural movement. Wake up your body, continuing to breathe through each cycle. Inhaling, dropping and looking up. And exhaling. Another option here is to turn your wrists around. If you have any wrist pain or anything, just be mindful and give yourself some relief. Your fingertips can be pointing back at your knees. Just continuing to move through cat cows. Warming up the spine, warming up the core. Maybe stretching one foot back and looking back at the leg that you have extended. And you can move your feet up and down, kind of opening up, waking up your calf muscles, and then switching sides. Just some mindful, gentle movements start. And if your wrists are turned around, you can turn them back facing in front of you. And then find one more cat and cow. Inhaling to look up, belly drops, chest rises. Exhaling, black cat on Halloween. And then inhale to a tabletop. And we are going to do our first little core activation. So inhale your right hand and arm extending out like you're going to shake a hand. And then your opposite leg up, keeping your toes pointing down. So inhale to reach. Your gaze is at the top of your mat. Exhale, bring your knee to your elbow, hunching your back like that cute black Halloween cat. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, knee to elbow. Let's do it one more time. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, knee to elbow and release. And then do a cat-cow transition. So dropping your belly on an inhale and looking up. Exhale to your cat. And then find a moment of stillness in your tabletop. Gaze is at the top of your mat. Inhaling your left hand up and right leg back, keeping your toes pointed to the ground. Inhaling to reach and lengthen. Exhale your elbow to your knee. Again, inhale to lengthen, stretching. Exhale your elbow to your knee. One more, biggest stretch you got, biggest breath you got. Inhale, hold, and exhale, knee to elbow. And then back into your tabletop. Do a couple more cat cows, inhaling to drop your belly. Exhaling. Inhaling, belly drop, gaze looks up. And exhaling into a cat. Now find a flat back in your tabletop. We're going to do a little bit more core activation here. So curl your toes under. On an inhale, lift your knees off the mat just 2 inches and stay here for 3 breaths, continuing to push the mat away. So inhale, knees hovering, push the mat away. Exhale to breathe everything out. Inhale, exhale. Inhale and exhale, push into a downward facing dog. And the first down dog of the day for a lot of us. Your knees can be bent here. You can walk your dog out. You can shake your head yes and no. And eventually finding some stillness in down dog. Your feet can be hip width apart here. And you want your back to be flat. So if your back isn't flat, your knees can be bent a little bit. And breathe. And inhale, look towards your hands. Exhale, walk to the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift, knees on shins. Back is flat. Exhale, release into a forward fold. Again, your knees can be bent here. We're going to hang out in our forward fold into a rag doll. So you can grab opposite elbows and just breathe here, allowing the low back to release. You can sway back and forth here. And you can shake your head yes and no. Stay here for a couple more breaths. Let your head hang heavy. Let all the blood flow. Then inhale. Exhale, release your hands to the mat. Inhale your hands on your shins, flat back, halfway lift. Stay for a breath. Exhale to fold. And then inhale, we're going to rise slowly, 1 vertebrae at a time, letting your neck and head come up last. Then finding yourself in a mountain pose, Tadasana. So traditional mountain pose, palms are receiving, feet are grounded. And from here, we will do a few freedom breathing. So inhale your hands to the sky, reaching to the tippy top, filling up your lungs. Exhale your hands to the heart. Inhale to reach again, inhaling. Exhaling, maybe your thumbs tickle down to your third eye, your lips, your heart. We'll do this 3 more times. Inhale to reach. Exhale. Next time we do this, try to breathe, make it your biggest inhale you got. So inhale through your nose. Keep breathing through your nose. Breathe, hold for 3, 2, 1. Exhale. Hands to heart. One more time, biggest breath you got. Inhale, reach through your nose. Inhale. Keep breathing, 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 holding. 3, 2, 1. Exhale. Maybe keeping your hands at your heart center. And I'll invite you to keep your gaze down or close your eyes and set an intention for yourself, your practice, your strength, whatever, maybe just silence. And then when you're ready, you can keep your eyes open. Take one more inhale. And then exhale, we're going to fold. Inhale to a halfway lift. And exhale into our first plank. So a high push-up. Your hands are shoulder width apart. Inhaling to push the mat away, staying here for 3. Breathing, 2. Breathing, 1. Lower down slowly, as slow as you can. Uncurl your toes. Press your feet together like a cobra tail. Keep your thumbs kind of at the chest line. And third eye, forehead kiss to the mat. Inhale, press yourself up. Your heart is forward. Exhale, forehead kiss to the mat. Stay here and breathe. Next time we push ourselves up for cobra, try using just your low back strength and your feet. So maybe your hands can hover. Inhale, chest up, and exhale down. Let's do it one more time. Inhale up, and exhale down. Push back into a downward facing dog. And ground yourself in your down dog. Find your breath, your pranayama. And then we're going to inhale our right leg to the sky. Exhale, send your foot through the center of your hands. Drop your knee. Find yourself in a low lunge. You can stay in low lunge if you want. You can put your hands up. And if you're feeling a back bend today, you can goal post your arms and just drop your head back. Breathing here. And then exhaling back to the center. Placing your hands inside of your right leg, opening up into a lizard pose. Dropping inside of your foot, staying on your forearms. You can also keep yourself up like this if you like. Stay here for 3 breaths. If you're craving more in your lizard, you can reach back and get a quad stretch on your left leg. Wherever you are, just continue to breathe into the comfort or the discomfort, whatever it feels like today. There's nothing wrong with a little bit of discomfort as long as you know your limits. Just breathe into your right hips here. And on your next inhale, push yourself up if you're in a lizard. Heel toe your foot back to center. Inhale back up into a low lunge. Exhale to frame your foot and send your foot back and find yourself in a high plank, lowering down to cobra. Flowing, inhaling to push up. Exhaling back into downward facing dog. Breathe here, find your center. Then inhale your left leg to the sky, three-legged dog. Exhale, send it through. Knee is on the ground. Hips are squared. Inhale, your hands rise. And if you want that back pen, you can goal post, angel wings, or you can clasp behind if you want more of a shoulder opener. Breathe here. And then slowly come back up from your back bend. Inhaling your hands up. Then exhaling your hands to the center of your foot, opening up to a lizard on the left side. So the knife edge of your foot can be just right on the mat here. You can drop down to your forearms. If you have a block, you can rest your head on the block or a pillow. Just stay here and breathe for 3 breaths. And again, offering a quad stretch if you are feeling that in your practice today. Continuing to breathe and exhaling out of your mouth. One more breath wherever you are. And inhale, pushing yourself up, bringing your foot, heel toeing your foot back to center. Hips are squared. Inhale, hands to the sky. Exhale, frame your foot. Find your flow. Flows are always optional. You can always move back into a child's pose. Exhale to lower. Inhale, take your time. If you're an up dog or cobra. And exhale into a downward facing dog. Stay here for 3 breaths. Really ground yourself in your down dog. Let this be your resting stop here. So a couple more breaths. And on your next inhale, your right leg to the sky, 3-legged dog. Exhale to send your foot through. And we will keep our toes curled and our knee lifted, so we're in a low runner's lunge. So staying low. Your chest can be on your knee, not too heavy though. Then your left hand on the inside of your right foot, opening up for an easy twist. Right hand to the sky. Breathe. One more breath here. Reaching. And exhale to close. Inhale your hands over your head, and then finding yourself in a high lunge. Dropping into your right knee. Breathing and reaching, inhaling to reach. Exhale to deepen into your high lunge. Stay here for one more breath. Inhale, reach. And exhale, flow down to the mat. Inhaling your leg up, exhaling to lower. Inhaling back up, cobra. And back into a down dog on an exhale. Finding your breath in down dog, finding your center. Inhale your left leg to the sky. Exhale, sending it through. Again, keeping your toes curled and your knee lifted, and so you're in a low runner's lunge. Bringing your right hand inside your left foot and opening up for an easy twist. Breathing here. Exhaling back to center. Inhaling or extending your arms over your head, and then breathing up into your high lunge. You can kind of mindfully bounce in your high lunge. Inhale your hands to the sky. Exhaling into your bent knee. Breathing here. And then framing your foot. Doing another flow or skipping the flow. Totally up to you. Exhale to lower. Inhale. Cobra or up dog. Exhaling into a child's pose. So just take a few breaths here in child's pose. We're in no rush to get to the next standing sequence, so just take your time, recenter, connect back with the breath that we cultivated in the beginning of class. Inhaling, letting your lungs fill up. Exhaling, allowing your chest and your belly to fall. Stay here for a couple more breaths. And then when you're ready, we will meet back in a downward facing dog. Breathe here for a couple breaths. Inhale, look towards the top of your hands. Exhale to walk towards the top of your hands. Inhale to a halfway lift. Exhale to release. Now your feet can stay together here, or you can pigeon toe your feet, or your feet can be hip width apart. I'm going to transition us into a chair pose. So I'm going to pigeon toe my feet. This is called awkward pose. So inhale your hands to the sky and exhale, sit back. You should be able to see your toes. So inhale to reach, exhale to sit a little bit more. Inhale to reach, exhale to sit, and then release, hands to heart center, fold over. Breathe here. Find your pranayama. Let your head hang. Inhale, halfway lift. Pausing. Exhale, release. Inhale into our second chair pose. Setting us up for eagle. So right arm under left, wrapping around. Your elbows raised a little higher, getting a shoulder stretch. Inhale your right leg up. And then you can stop right here, kind of like a bike stop, or you can wrap completely around. Push your hips to the right, push your elbows to the left. Sit a little bit more, breathing, raising your elbows. Stay here for 3, breathing, 2, 1, release. Splash out, fold over. Find your breath here in your forward fold. Inhale back up into your chair. Eagle on the left side. So left arm under your right. Beautiful eagle beak. Elbows are up, sitting down, left leg is raised. Again, you can stop right here, is perfectly fine, or you can wrap. Inhaling to reach your left hips back towards the left, right elbows to the right. Exhale, sitting down. Inhale, reach. 3, 2, 1. Splash up and release. Forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to flow. Stay in plank for 3, 2, and exhale to flow. Down. Inhaling to an up dog. Exhaling, downward facing dog. Inhale to look up towards your hands. Exhaling to walk towards your hands. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to fold, fold. Stay in your fold. Inhale to slowly rise, taking your time. Setting up for standing bow pose. So inhale, your right arm out, elbow is in your hips, palm is facing up. Grab the inside of your foot, inside. Find your footing, ground through your left foot. Once you feel grounded, press your knees together. Find that stability, connect to your breath. Inhale your left arm up. Then when you exhale, hinge forward like a bow or a dancer. Your gaze is looking at something still through your fingertips. Inhaling your chest forward. Breathing here. Beautiful. And then slowly release out of that exhale. I like to shake it out. Always feels good. We just move around a little bit and we're gonna set up on the left side. So inhale, arm swings out, palm is open, receiving. Ground through your right foot, center, breathe. When you feel grounded on your balancing foot, grab the inside of your right foot, left foot. Push your knees together. Inhale to look up, hand reaches up. Then exhale to kick into your hand, pushing forward, reaching forward, breathing here, kicking, reaching, breathing. And exhale, slowly release. Inhale, hands to heart center. Bow your head down. Inhale, reach to the sky. And we're going to flow down to the ground. We're not going to do a real flow. We're just going to crawl onto our bellies, setting up for belly shavasana. So your forehead can rest on top of your hands. Just stay here and breathe for a few breaths. We made it to the mat on the ground, favorite part of class. Just keep breathing. Now I'm going to cue us into a super yogi pose. This is more core activating, back strengthening, heart opening. So your feet can be as wide as your mat, keeping your gaze down, but your hands can come above you. I'm sure most of you know Superman and his moves. That's basically going to be us right now. So inhale, do nothing. Exhale, do nothing. Keeping your gaze on the ground. Inhale, lift everything up using your core and your back strength. Breathing here, pretending you're flying over Madison, seeing the Capitol and all the pretty fall leaves, breathing and reaching. Exhale, release, left cheek to the mat. Breathe here. Find your breath. You are super yogis, amazing yogis on this beautiful Friday. Inhale your forehead back to the center. And we're going to set up for a modified locust pose. So you can keep your feet mat width apart. And then we're going to clasp our hands behind us, opening up our shoulders. Inhale, do nothing. Exhale, do nothing. Inhale, reach. Reaching back towards your heels, breathing and looking up. One more breath, inhaling to reach. Exhale, release, right cheek to the mat. From here, you can windshield wiper your feet back and forth. Your hands can be released to the mat. And setting up for one more belly pose. So kind of like how we reached back and grabbed our feet in dancer, the inside of your feet. Inhale to reach back on those. Exhale, do nothing. Then on your next inhale, we are going to come up like this. Inhaling, looking up, continuing to breathe. 3, 2, 1. Release. Forehead onto your mat. Pushing back into a child's pose. Inhaling to a tabletop, just to transition as we set up for pigeon pose. So right leg back. Exhale, bring your right foot in front of your left hand. Your toes can be pointing towards your hips. So we're going to inhale and kind of look up and gather some energy. And then if this calls for you, you can exhale down to your forearms. And let this be a resting pigeon pose. So we're going to stay here for a couple breaths. Find what's comfortable for you and know your limits. I know that this pose can be uncomfortable at first. The more you do it, the more you feel the beautiful benefits and the release of the hips, tension. It's also a good place to have a block. I know we don't have any right here, but for people at home, and just breathe here. Breathe into the comfort or the discomfort. Send some love to whatever you're feeling internally. Take 2 more breaths in this pigeon pose. And when you're ready to release out of pigeon, come up very slowly. Place your hands on your mat, curl your toes, and release your leg. You can shake it out if you want. And then inhale your left leg up. Exhale your left leg. Inhaling to look up, receiving energy, and exhaling to wind down, letting the left hip flexors get some love. Breathing here. Another good option for pigeon, if this is too hard for you, it is for a lot of people, you can also do it on your back. So your left leg on top of your right knee is opening up your hip flexors too. And then you can thread your arms through the little hole that your legs made. And you can bring your hands behind your knees and pull closer. It's another good option for the pigeon. Stay here and breathe. 2 more breaths wherever you are. When you're ready to release, the same way you released out of the last pigeon, so press your hands up, curl your toes, you can shake your foot out. And then let's find our way down to our backs for our final pose, which will be a supine spinal twist. So grab your left leg, bring it close to your chest, and then move it into your armpit, left armpit, kind of move it back and forth. Some hip love today. And then inhale, grab your right hand outside of your left knee and drag it across your body, opening up your left arm, extending it and looking towards your fingertips for a nice spinal twist on the left side. Stay here and breathe for 3 breaths. And inhaling to release yourself from that spinal twist. And then extending your left leg, bringing your right knee close to your chest on an inhale. And then exhaling, moving it knee to your armpit, moving your knee around. And then inhaling to bring your knee close to you. And with your left hand outside of your right knee, dragging it across your body, opening up the right side, right arm is extended. Gaze is towards your fingertips, if that's okay for your neck. Stay here and breathe for 3 beautiful yogi breaths. And then when you're ready, find yourself in the center, bringing both knees to your chest, hugging them, maybe lifting your neck off the ground and giving your little knee forehead kiss. Eventually, landing your whole body to the ground, take up as much space as you want. You can make a star pose on the mat, which feels really, really good. And then eventually finding your corpse pose, Shavasana, final resting pose. Stay here for a minute or two. Just allow yourself to melt onto your mat. giving yourself the gift of stillness and gratitude for your body and everything it does for you, for your mind for being strong, and your heart for being open. Continuing to breathe and let your breath be slow. Let yourself be rested. And I will let you know when it's time to open your eyes. When you are inspired by some great purpose, some extraordinary project, all your thoughts break their bonds. Your mind transcends limitations. Your consciousness expands in every direction, and you find yourself in a new, great, and wonderful world. Dormant forces, faculties, and talents become alive, and you discover yourself to be a greater person by far than you ever dreamed yourself to be. Slowly start to bring some awareness to your body, maybe moving your fingertips and your toes around, moving out your wrists and your ankles. We will close out practice right here on our backs, and I invite you to bring your hands to your heart center. And we'll take one last collective breath together, inhaling through our nose and exhaling out of our mouths. Thank you so much for joining me today for afternoon yoga. Namaste.
Thank you, Devonna. And thank you,